Everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, please like on the way in. Gives me an energetic donation to the channel. Helps me tune into YOU. Flip the rules as you see fit. And let's call in spirit. Let's get this party started. Let's do it. Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel these messages and protect my beautiful collective. Amen, amen, amen. How are y'all doing? Hopefully you're doing well. You're doing wonderful. This is the lunchtime rewind. Let me push you back a bit so you can see everything. Can you see it? Can you see it? I think you can see it clearly now, right? See my broken ceramic? All right, let's do it. Let's put some smoke on the subject. Spirit, come through. Let's do a little Reiki-esque. These are collective readings. Any energy, any sign. Energy does not have a gender. So take what you can from these readings and leave the rest. Yeah, get a smoke cleanse up in here. Cleanse out my space. Set your intentions as I'm setting mine. You have clear quartz, and that is a manifestation stone. Helps you. So let's use that first. Manifest what it is that you're seeking. Clarity, understanding of your situation, closure for those that are looking for it. I have a beautiful rose quartz. Open your heart, forgive, and move forward is what I'm saying. This is a heart opener. Beautiful color as well. And what do I do? All right, I'm going to sweep your aura. I feel like it's important to sweep the aura, cleanse the space. Okay. Now, I don't have my rattle. It's in the other room, but I'm going to use this. Remove any bad juju from this space. And then let's do it. Okay. And then, of course, ringing the sound bowl. So if you have sensitivity, earphones in, please. In 3, 2, 1, lower your volume, babies. There you go. Good. That's a good one. All right. So we got a few cards here. I'm going to start out with, like, what would they say? Or, like, what's the skinny here? We're going to do the lunchtime rewind. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this fast-paced adventure. Hope you're doing well. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you for that. So just take what resonates out of this. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't make it fit, right? Because it's not, I do point out astrological signs. I do point out gender signs. Assign the roles as you see fit and use, substitute they and them if that works for you better. But don't get hung up or stuck on it. Even like with the astrological signs, it could be aspected any sign, really. So just don't get hung up on that. Let's get us a message, spirit, a message. Oh my goodness, 2 messages. All right, sometimes the answer isn't yes or no, it's wait. You know how when you cross the street and you press the button first before the sign goes out, it says wait. Yeah, sometimes you gotta wait. That's the answer. You are worthy of love. No proof is needed. Amen. Amen. I think some people chase validation, chase love, chase somebody in general, and it's you should be chasing healing and you should be loving the person inside of yourself. Then it can manifest outside of yourself in a healthy way. Somebody put, you gave me the sweetest dream and the hottest reality. A reality check of the mirror. We've done readings before, the mirror. Some people don't like the harshness of what they're seeking, what they're seeing inside of themselves. Maybe they did you dirty and they're feeling the guilt of that, right? You held up a mirror of their toxicities. All right, so I got a couple of things. Let's do the kipperish. I'm saying kipperish. Kipper. Let's do the kipper. Spirit, give me some messages on this. It seems like it's a relationship that is no longer, it's a dream state, maybe a memory state for this person. Maybe the answer right now, union is not possible. And maybe it is a 5D. For some people, you haven't met your twin yet. It's in the dream state. You're dreaming of this person. But for some, it was a connection that didn't pan out. Yeah, pathway. Your pathways went in different directions. Okay? I'm going to put that down here instead of on top of it. So your pathways diverted at one point for some of you. Okay. You were in a connection, but now you're not. And message of concern, so they're not contacting you, even though they might have concerns for you, or opposite, they're something could be concerning about them going on, but they're not contacting you. In child in reverse, there's no innocence here though. The innocence is lost. You could have been very innocent in the connection. You could have felt very like childlike, or the connection could have been very innocent and childlike, right? But then all of a sudden it turned toxic and you were like, what the hell happened here? It's like something changed and shifted in you. You changed and shifted because of their treatment of you. Yeah. Give me a little bit on this connection here. The first card, Spirit. The answer being no. Yeah, great fortunes in the reverse. So they could be struggling financially, and that's why the answer is no for now, because they're working on their coin. That could be one of the reasons they don't come towards you. They don't feel good enough. Despair in reverse. Maybe at one time, past, present, or future energy is always at play. At one time, they could have been in despair. They could have been financially strapped. Courtship. This could have been a courtship, could have been a connection where it was like either marriage, or it could have been high-level commitment with this person, but they could have went towards another person, and that's why it inevitably ended. Occupation, you could be working hard, or you could have met this person at work, or this person could be working hard to forget you. Could be. Lovers in reverse. This could have been a situation where it was a friendship, and you were never really lovers. You were just friends. Maybe they didn't want to taint the relationship by becoming lovers. Yeah, that could be it. Sudden wealth. Maybe money was an issue. And it seems like that with this occupation, with this despair, with this great fortune in reverse. Money was a catalyst here. Like somebody felt they didn't have enough, or maybe they were working hard towards wealth and they didn't want to get distracted. I feel like you were like a distraction for this person. Like they didn't think they were going to meet you at that juncture in their life. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, now what do? I meet the right one at the wrong time. That's what it feels like. Maybe they dated you and you wanted more in the connection than they were willing to give at that time. And they went towards their fortune. They didn't make a choice with you. They didn't choose you because they chose working instead. They chose earning money. And then they inevitably didn't happen for them. Not in the way they thought it was going to happen. They went in a different direction. They had highs and lows, or ups and downs when it came to the market or money. So they didn't want to like be saddled with somebody, and not to say anything negative about you, but they just didn't want to have somebody that they were responsible for at the time when they met you. Could have been younger. Or you could have been younger. Flip the roles. And they were just really at a different spot in their life. Yeah, I think that's what happened there. Let me see. 5 of Swords. Yeah, and it was like, there was conflict in the connection. You wanted more in this connection, or even if you didn't say it verbally, there was an assumption here that you were going to have expectations of something they weren't willing to give you at that time. So Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Knight of Coins. So they were in a different place. It's not a king, it's not an emperor, it's a knight. They only had so much, and they were really working hard towards getting more. Maybe they felt like you had high expectations, or like, what is it, champagne tastes on a beer budget type of thing, and they would have to like, yeah, maybe. 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior, but it's in reverse. So there's a recovery period here. Maybe they felt like you expected too much, or you had big ambitions or big tastes in money. They felt like maybe, you would be too much of like a high maintenance type of person. Yeah, I feel like they're coming out of that. But I feel like they didn't feel like they had enough. Whether it was money, whether it was emotions for you, or whether it was like the wherewithal. They weren't in the right space. Page of Swords. I feel like you're like a fighter. You're like guards up. You're like, you're very different than this person. Page. Young, it could be younger too. Could be immature. Maybe they felt like you were immature, weren't ready for like, or, you know, like weren't a serious person at that time. And they were being serious. Ace of Swords, new beginnings, struggling to climb the ladder. And maybe they just felt like you were just an immature person, regardless of whether you were older or younger. I don't think they took it serious, or they took you serious at that time. Maybe they didn't think you took your job serious or your ambitions serious at that time. Six of Wands. Yeah, victory in the reverse. So there was no victory in this connection. There was no victory going towards money versus love, but it was like a no-win situation at the time. The Sun's in reverse, so this is what wasn't enlightened to them at the time. Illuminated. There was no epiphany when it came to you. It was just their jaded opinion, is what I'm hearing. By your actions, they thought you were immature. The Tower in reverse. So they avoided like any like confrontations, emotional like backlash. They just ghosted you. Yeah, King of Cups is somebody that's very like mature person, like maybe circa how many years it's been. They're now sitting there very balanced in their emotions. The King of Swords is very balanced in their emotions. So they were looking at it in a level way, level-headed way, pros and cons type of thing. But inevitably broke your heart and broke theirs. Don't get it twisted. Their heart was broken too. Maybe not at first. They reasoned with themselves, right? Very rational person. But in the end, they did. The Hangman, suspense, the connection is in limbo. Two of Wands, not sure which direction to go. I don't think there was a balancing of the scales as far as justice when it comes to the situation either. Maybe you felt screwed over by this person. And maybe they did at the time because they weren't thinking that the connection would be something they were interested in at the time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like time has changed this person. What does it say, that song? Time has changed me, but I can't change time. So they can't go back in time and change the situation, right? Make a different choice. It's like, it's done, it's over, it's done, it's dusted. Now what do I do? Now what do I do? Now this person is in a different place in life, and so am I. How do I come back from the ending? The tragic ending, the bad ending that I put us both through, is what they're saying. Now you're not going to look the same way at them again. You know what I mean? That's how they feel. Mockery, an attempt to disguise fear. So maybe they did backstab you in a sense, or back, you know, like stabbed you in the back, stabbed you in the heart, I should say, and mocked you in an attempt to disguise their fear. I feel like their feelings, more like it. Yeah. Sacral chakra, creative, sexual energy. Maybe they went in that direction with hit it and quit it relationships versus something serious. They didn't want a serious connection at that time. Distractions leading you off course. But it's in the reverse. I feel like they had a path. I don't think they felt like you had direction in your life. And this was a person that was very focused on what they wanted, which was money, status, climbing the ladder. And you weren't at that space at that time. So they felt like, I'm not going to commit myself to somebody that's not as serious about making money and climbing the ladder as I am. They just looked at you in a different way. You weren't serious enough for them. Dreamweaver. Yeah, this wasn't a dream to this person. This was a nightmare. It was like when they were adding up the connection and what it would do for them, which I feel like that's what they were looking at, just didn't add up. Take flight. Butterfly. They didn't see you in that transformative way because they were looking at money. Yeah, they were looking at money. They wanted money, 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 money. They weren't into a connection that, you know, they would give a try, give you a chance if you were at that level and they felt like you were immature. Watch out for the signs. The universe is guiding you in the right direction. They were going the wrong way. They were thinking the wrong way. But at the same time, that's the space that they were in at that time. That's how they felt. And they ghosted you or broke your heart or ended the connection or, you know, whatever. Maybe gave you a John Deere letter. However they did it. Broke both of your hearts doing it because you were the one. But they couldn't see it because they couldn't see the seriousness of who you were. Now they do. So you must be working on something that's you're dedicated to. But the thing was, if you met this person at school or work or in a working environment type of situation, at that time, you weren't into whatever it is that you were doing for a job. So you weren't going to put your effort and energy into it like they were. They're looking at it and it's a job, a career. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, fun. You wanted it to be fun, so it wasn't interesting to you. So you didn't put your time, effort, and energy into it, and they judge that as your character. Just because you're not interested in a certain position doesn't mean that you're directionless and, you know, like lackluster. You're not a person to put your, you know, hedge your bets on. Come on now. Once you find what you're looking for, then you can put your effort into it, and I feel like they're seeing that now. Yeah, you just didn't, you know, you just didn't want that, you know, whatever position that was, or education, maybe you were just there to have fun, you know, or to just learn or grow. Maybe you needed to grow up in a sense, but that doesn't mean judge you as, I don't know, like, not a loser, but you know what I'm saying. Not somebody to invest in. But I feel like they did invest in somebody. The Magician is here. This is a person determined and resourceful, skilled at what they do. Maybe they were manifesting wealth, manifesting, you know, on their bucket list or checklist of success. Queen of Swords. You could be guarded. You could be just as successful and independent in your own way as they are, but in different fields. Two of Swords. Yeah. There's a crossroads here. I feel like there was a crossroads there, and there was a crossroads that they had to take, and they took a different direction from you, and now you're at a crossroads as to what to do in your life. You took a different direction. You both had a choice, and you chose to let them go. You're the Empress. You're every queen of the deck. So you had growing up to do, learning to do. To get to Empress status, you have to go through something in life, and you have to be tested in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas, to become Empress status. So I feel like they're seeing you manifesting your dreams. They're seeing you as a person who's knowledgeable in your field, and they're admiring you from a distance. But now they're looking at it like, how the hell am I going to come back from what I did to this person when I was judging them harshly? Yeah, because they did judge. They did definitely judge you. Temperance. Yeah, balance is necessary in life. The scales need to be balanced. They need to come correct. They need to apologize if they hurt you on any level, and be honest. And I feel like their pride might get in the way of that, and has gotten in the way of that. Nine of Cups is here. Yeah, you have satisfaction in your life. Your wishes are granted. They could be sitting back and have climbed the ladder, and they have a measure of success. But they're always remembering the kindness and the fun and the memories of you in their life. And that might be hidden. I'm not saying that out loud. You're working towards your Nine of Cups, your whatever, your Ten of Pentacles. You want success in your life, and you're working hard towards it. Two of Cups is here, though. What about love, right? Commitment. You could be looking for a commitment, or this person could be now looking for a commitment towards you. But Three of Swords, they broke your heart. So now they're wondering how are they gonna come back from being an op. They feel like it's a missed opportunity. Five of Cups, they lost out because of a choice. It was a choice. Everybody has them. They made a different choice. Knight of Pentacles. Slow moving Knight. Somebody could be coming towards you with security, with somebody else could be coming towards you. Yeah, they feel restricted. This person from your past. Eight of Cups, they could be letting go, or they did let go of you. Yes, and they collaborated. Three of Pentacles with somebody else. So now they're in an inner turmoil and grief because they realize you're going to be finding somebody. Oh my God, you found the King of Pentacles. Yep, King of Pentacles. So the world is here. Success. You're going to find success with this person. And Nine of Pentacles, enjoyment, financial. Oh my God. So this is going to create a tower in this person's life because you made it. You're going to make a choice. You have a clear vision. You're a leader too. And they didn't see that at the time. They're seeing that now, but they're also seeing that you're at a status where you could welcome in other people, and that's exactly what's going to happen. See an ending. An ending to this connection. The dream of being with you is the door's going to close. because of the conflict in the past, Five of Swords coming back again. Yeah, you're going to find happiness, collaboration, and celebrations in a partnership with somebody else. And they could be in a partnership with somebody else too. And they didn't give you a chance, and now they're seeing you at a status where if you would have been at that status when they knew you, however many years ago that was, they would have chose you, but they chose somebody else instead. And then the years go by, you're learning something. They're climbing the ladder, focusing on other things, but they're always keeping like this one side eye on you. And all of a sudden, they're seeing you winning. It's like you popped out of nowhere to become this powerhouse, this empress. Spirit, seriously. Ugh. And you're manifesting your dreams, and now all of a sudden, it's like they're seeing you shining, and they were like, oh, if they were like that back in the day, I would have picked this person. But it's like, it is what it is. Too little, too late. I mean, if you're going to pick somebody based on their wallet and their bank account, how, like, reliable is that kind of person? It's like you're jumping ship for the, just because of status. I don't know. I'm not altogether convinced that this is a good choice anyways, if that's how they feel. If they're judging you according to what you were back in the day, they didn't choose you because you didn't have enough money, and you weren't serious about a job that you weren't interested in, then what the hell what is that saying about them? That's like a status whore type of person, no tea, no shade. I mean, it's just truth. Let's get one more card here. Let's end it because I got to get back to work. This is the lunchtime rewind, babies. Spirit, give me one card here. If you keep glowing, and you know what? Like I said, there's always a person that's going to appreciate you, even if this person didn't. Twin, soulmate, regardless. If this person chose somebody else, let them stay where they're at, and you keep moving forward because you're going to find the person that is going to appreciate you for all sides of you, not just the one that has the money that carries the purse. You know what I'm saying? Inner peace is my bitch. Here it is. Acceptance, better watch out. I'm coming for it next. Yes, accept what you cannot change. People you cannot change. There are opinions that you cannot change. The only thing you can change is yourself. You weren't interested at the time in what they were interested in. That doesn't make you an unreliable person. Maybe you were immature at the time and you needed to find out what you were interested in. But that doesn't mean that, okay, this one's checked off because they didn't meet all my requirements. Is that what it's about, being in a relationship? No, hell no, it's not. Equal reciprocity, thank you very much. That's all I have for you today on Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe because I would love to have you as part of my soul family. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.